right, folks. We're doing a little bit of weed whacking today right here off Broadway and Craycroft here in Tucson. And we're at a commercial property. I'm gonna have to be careful of cars going alongside the road. We got quite a bit of work to do here. You can see these bushes and these weeds. Bro, you're fucking on my video. All right. We're here on a commercial property. I'm gonna start out by weed whacking these weeds alongside the road. I need to be careful of the cars. Then I'm gonna ease into these bushes. We'll go ahead and get those trimmed on back, and I'll be right back with you. All right, we're all trimmed up. Now it's time to start raking, and then we'll move on into our trimming. I'll be right back with you. All right, we got our piles raked up. Still a little bit of weeds up in the interior area, but we'll get to that later. I really just wanted to get this cleaned up because people walk using the sidewalk, and I don't want any obscurities to be in the way. We got a lot of rocks, dirt, stuff that people could slip on. So my next step is gonna be blow the debris into the piles, and then I'm gonna go ahead and pick those piles up. I'll be right back with you. All right, our piles are raked and picked up. Just a little bit of excess on the sidewalk to blow off. I'm actually gonna go clip this little sprout you can see next to the blue car right now. That's gonna get clipped out, and I'll be right back with you. Well, our blow is done. You can see a little bit of excess in the road, but it's too dangerous to really pick that up. It'll all disperse as the cars go over it. And my blower actually took a dump on me. So I'm gonna have to get that fixed, and I'll be right back with you. Now let's begin with the trimming of these lantanas. I'm gonna utilize our Steel brand precision shears in a bag, trim them up, utilize the rake to pick up the clippings and bag them up. I'll be right back with you. Okay, so the first series has been clipped down. You can see that there is 4. And I'm gonna move on into this section. I'll be right back with you. This patch of lantana right here is actually 2. We're gonna trim it back off of the concrete wall. Be right back with you. All right, that's looking great, nice and sculpted. We now have 2 individual lantanas. I've kicked my pile into order. I'm gonna go ahead and rake this up, clean up as I go. I'll show you the aftermath once it's all picked up. I'll be right back with you. All right, we're doing a quick back view. We got our bag compressed. What's impressive about a bag is that you can pack in quite a bit of debris along with the small stuff such as leaves and trash. The much thicker unbaggable stuff goes onto the tarp. We just have this small section to pick up, and I'll be right back with you. The great part about utilizing the shears is that these low hanging strings that are close to the rocks, it enables us to get in there real low to the ground and make our cut without digging into the dirt. Let's get these 2 piles picked up, thrown into the bag, and I'll be right back with you with these 2 shrubs. This set of lantanas is now sculpted, shaped up in a way to where they're separate from each other. You can pass by in between And we're gonna launch off into these Texas Rangers. I'll be right back with you. All right, we are all trimmed up. We're gonna rake it up and move on into this section where you can see a few more Texas Rangers and some lantana. I'll be right back with you. Coming from this angle, you can see this one solid lantana hangs over the concrete wall. We're gonna trim it on up. I'll be right back with you. All right, that looks amazing. We're gonna go ahead and rake this up, throw it onto the tarp. But before we do that, we're gonna take our bag to the truck. It's at max capacity. And then we'll go ahead and move on into the next section. Be right back with you. So we got our first bag loaded up in the back of the wagon. Our tarp in position. Let's go ahead and keep her going. I'll be right back with you. Okay, so our debris is raked up. We've placed it onto our tarp. And we're gonna go ahead and move on into this section where I'm gonna go ahead and trim up this series of shrubs. In this module, I will most likely utilize the hedge trimmers in order to get through most of these bushes. The only ones in which I'll utilize the shears are going to be this lantana and the one over by those signs that you see in the corner of the stoplight. I'll be right back with you. I'm also going to focus on removing the weeds in this section as I pass through trimming the bushes. I'll be right back with you. All right. We've got our weeds on the tarp now. We're gonna go ahead and lead off into this lantana now that our weeds are removed from this section. Getting a closer view, you can see that the overgrowth has crossed over the railing. We're gonna have that trimmed back as well as off of the concrete wall. Let me show you down below as it wraps around. This will all be trimmed out, raked up and loaded onto our tarp. Then we can move off into this section. I'll be right back with you. Right now, I'm working the edge of the lantana located on the inside of the railing. I'm gonna go ahead and chop through this section. Okay. So we're all shaped out. The lantana's clipped back from the railing. If I go ahead and hop down, you can see our edge. Let me pick this on up and I'll show you the final scene in this area. All right, a quick overview. Our lantana is chopped back from the railing. A little bit of weedage on the corner, but let's go on ahead and dice up this lantana and I'll be right back with you. All right, this lantana is all diced out. We got our pile right here ready for the pickup. What I'm gonna do is focus more on trimming the lantanas. Since I have the shears, it's close to the ground. Then I'll jump back into this area and start trimming up these shrubs right here. And I'll be right back with you. So before I do any loading, I'm gonna go ahead and trim this lantana up. That's up against the rock. And we're gonna move on into this series of 3. All right. We got that lantana all diced up, along with this 3. I'm gonna move on into this last one that I didn't notice, and we'll move on from there. As far as the weeds that you see, I'm gonna go ahead and use the weed whacker, especially around these political signs, and launch off down by the bus stop. Be right back with you. All right, we're looking A-okay in this area. Our piles are raked. Let's go ahead and grab our tarp and load these up. I'll be right back with you. Okay, at this point, our tarp is fairly packed. We got our lantanas all trimmed up. We just got this set of 3, along with one other across the railing to box out. We're also gonna hit these Texas Rangers, and what I'm gonna do is hook up my hedger attachment in order to process this part of the job a lot faster. I'll be right back with you. Looking ahead, we're gonna utilize the pole pruner and trim up these trees, taking off some of the low-hanging branches. I'll have that part of the video for you later on. Most of the remaining trimming is what you see in front, along with what I showed you previously on the side. Let's go ahead and process this shrub and these 3 on the other side of the railing, and I'll be right back with you. Let's go on ahead and hit up these Texas Rangers. Okay, our Texas Ranger is all shaped up and ready to be loaded onto our tarp. I'll be right back with you. It looks like our tarp is at max capacity. I'm gonna go ahead and tie it up and get ready to start loading up another tarp. Be right back with you. Okay, our tarp is all tied up and moved up against the building. I'm gonna have to have somebody help me load this into the back of the wagon. It's not so much heavy as it is bulky. Or I can drag it towards the wagon and pitchfork it in from there. So now what I'm gonna do is hit this series of 3. I'll be right back with you. All right, as we sail into these 3 shrubs, they're nice and shaped up. Let's go ahead and hit that box. We're gonna go ahead and square off the shrub right here, making it into a box. Be right back with you. All right, we are all boxed out. Let's go on ahead and rake this up, get it ready for our next load. There are 3 additional shrubs in which I'll start trimming right now, and I'll be right back with you. Okay, I've gone ahead and made my shape of these 2 shrubs right here. This 3rd one is intertwined within the cactus and this desert plant. So what I'm gonna have to do is come in with the shears, clean up these 2, and then get deep inside this hedge and start trimming this up. Be right back with you. We now have our, what I thought was 3 is really 4 shrubs all spruced up. We utilized the shears to get it to the tight squeezed areas. I'll be right back with you. Looking on into the future of this job, we're gonna go ahead and trim up this whole area right here, considering that this is a restaurant. We can't do it right now. There are people that we don't want to get into their way, but this is a lot of overgrowth right here. I'm gonna have this nice and cleaned out for you guys. I'll be right back with you. Furthermore, we have this tree to trim, this overgrown birds of paradise. We're gonna trim that up. We also have weeds alongside the road. We're gonna weed whack those down. Some more lantana up in this area. We'll go ahead and use the shears to trim those back. I'll be right back with you. In this area alongside the street, we're going to trim back this mesquite tree that's growing into the road. We're gonna hit these lantanas with the shears, use the hedgers to round out these two shrubs here, and I'll be right back with you. Right at this bus stop, you can see a lot of overgrown oleanders in a series, probably about 6 of them. We're gonna have this all trimmed back. This whole middle area is gonna be opened up. Stay tuned. Looking on from the other side, we have this birds of paradise right here. We're gonna trim that on up. And of course, the oleanders topping over the bus stop. We're gonna trim that accordingly to height. And I'll be right back with you. Adding on to the process, we have this Palo Verde sprout that's growing into the sidewalk. We're gonna go ahead and hack that back to where people can actually walk through. Be right back with you. What I'm gonna do now is blow off the sidewalk in this area, as well as down there. I'll be right back with you. Alright, we got our blow taken care of. Next up, I want to handle this sprout along with these other 3 sprouts. Also, some of the minor weeds that are able to be pulled instead of weed whacked, I'll handle those as well. Be right back with you. Alright, we went ahead and removed those stalks that were growing into the corners of the railings, the weeds in this section. And I'm gonna go ahead and move on into the next task. I'll be right back with you. Next up, I'm gonna go ahead and take my shears and start sculpting back these bushes right here. I'll be right back with you. All right, we are all sculpted back on these 4 Texas Rangers. Instead of going in a straight line, I'm gonna wrap myself around to the left and hit some of the shrubs on the other side of the wall. I'll be right back with you. Now on the lower level of the sidewalk, we're gonna go ahead and spruce up this area. I'll be right back with you. All right, we opened that area up quite a bit. We're gonna move on into these stringy looking shrubs right here that are overlapping the sidewalk. I'm just gonna cut the bottom half out and I'll be right back with you. All right, we got that clip back from the sidewalk. All right, we're now in this section, ready to trim back these lantanas. I've already started, but I'm gonna go ahead and get these clipped out and I'll be right back with you. We got this area opened up now, all sheared back with the Fiskar shears. These 2 lantanas as well. We're running out of light. We'll be back bright and early in the morning. All right, folks, we're back on another day. I'm gonna start off here in the front by clipping out this huge mesquite sprout right here, and then we're going to move on into the birds of paradise that you see beyond that saguaro. I'll be right back with you. All right, we're all clipped down. We're just going to remove a few of these branches and move on into the birds of paradise. I'll be right back with you. All right, the birds of paradise has been chopped down. We have a pile right here to load. along with the secondary pile right here. And I'll be right back with you with more trimming. Just a little bit of cleanup in the parking lot here. We'll rake that on up. These lantanas are still doing well. No need to round them out right now. Maybe just a little bit on these two right in here that are touching each other. We're gonna move on into these two bushes and shoot over to this one. I'll be right back with you. All right, we're all sculpted up in this area. We've got our tarp right here ready for the cleanup. And let's go ahead and rake this on up, throw it on our tarp, and move on into the oleanders that you see over by the bus stop. Be right back with you. Okay, our shrubs are cut back, debris picked up. We have it loaded on our tarp, ready to move forward into the area of the oleanders. There's a few piles over there which we're gonna throw on. But we opened up this area really well. I'll be right back with you. Just a quick back view of the area. We're looking wonderful. Let's go ahead and move on. All right, we are going to start sculpting up these Texas Rangers. I'll be right back with you. Okay, not bad. We're going to go ahead and wrap around to these two and get those cut on back. I'll be right back with you. All right, we got that series all chopped up. Just got one more right here in the center. Get that chopped up for you. I'll be right back with you. All right, that's looking terrific. We got our whole row of Texas Rangers sculpted back. I'm gonna go ahead and rake this up right here and proceed to include it in our debris on the tarp. And then we'll go ahead and jump off into these oleanders. Be right back with you. Again, we are looking kosher. We got our debris all picked up. At this point, we can go on ahead and launch off into these oleanders. I'm gonna get these cut back according to height with the bus stop. I'll be right back with you. We're back on another day. I went ahead and got myself somebody to help me load this tarp and the bags. And I'm gonna have a little bit more to load up. But let's go ahead and get this tarp first and I'll be right back with you. So here's my assistant right here. We're gonna go ahead and load this into the back of the wagon and I'll be right back with you. All right, I have a second tarp right here near the road. There's one pile to be loaded right here. So I'm gonna start dragging it on over, get it loaded, and wrap around to the truck. Be right back with you. Wow, look at how that is sandwiched in. That is incredible. We got one tarp tied up, plus another tarp that we flipped over, and it's now working as the top enclosement of the load. I'll be right back with you. Just a quick back angle. Let's go on ahead and clip this out right here by the sidewalk. Don't go nowhere. We are all clipped out. We have our ratchet straps in place. I'll be right back with you. We're currently here at the headquarters, and as far as the BJ's property, we didn't have to chop down those oleanders. They actually want that in a separate quote, along with the big tree trimming that I was talking about midpoint on the video. So we're gonna go ahead and just call it a wrap on the BJ's property, and I'm gonna go ahead and submit my invoice. And right now, they currently owe us a few payments from the backlog, about 3 invoices on top of this one. So there's another property that we're gonna service. It's gonna be the Office Depot property, and I'll have that available for you shortly. So stay tuned, folks. Subscribe, comment, and have a great day.